Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside and outside of your fire station. What's that? You don't have your fire station? Well, good news. If you want to make the fire station and then come back to this video and follow it along, all you have to do is hop into the card system or the description below, or right now when I say fire station, it'll appear on the screen and you'll be able to click that link and it will take you to a video that will show you how to make it. It'll probably take you about 30 minutes, and once you follow that, you can come back to this video and continue on. Pretty cool looking build, very easy to make, and it comes with a lot of toys. 2 upcoming tutorials in the future, which you will soon be able to find in the card system and the description below, will be my fire engine, which I am in love with. I think that this looks absolutely fantastic. Plus, I'm also going to be showing you how to make my fire and rescue helicopter. I don't know if this is done yet. Exactly, it probably isn't. I have to tweak it a little bit because something is a little bit wrong, but trust me, when I'm finished, it's going to look absolutely great. So remember, the fire station itself is in the card system and the description below, and soon to be the fire engine and the fire helicopter will also be there. But that's more than enough talking. Let's talk about the tutorial. So once you've followed along my fire station tutorial, you should end up with something that should look exactly like this. This is where we left off. If you want to make the inside and the outside, we're going to need a few things. So we'll need some quartz, we'll need some polished andesite, we'll also need some bricks. We'll probably also need some oak wood planks, we'll probably also need some dark oak wood slabs. I know that we will definitely need some dark oak wood stairs, and we need a variety of other materials. Maybe we'll also need some stone bricks. That's probably good enough for now. Oh, we might also want to light the place up a little bit, although it is very light, so I'll grab some torches. Once you have each one of your materials, you want to head into the fire station. We're going to focus on this part of the station first of all. So this is like where all of the firefighters will hang out, these 2 rooms right here, and this is going to be where they actually like get changed and where they can like slide down the ladder and like enter the fire engines as soon as an emergency comes up. So first of all, we should probably build some walls. There's a couple of walls here. The first wall is going to separate the garage and the little kind of reception area, which is going to be here, and we want a vertical row of quartz that stretches like from here. Can you see? It's quite obvious where the row of quartz goes actually, like it's just next to the windows here. We want a wall of quartz that kind of like cuts the building in half. So you should actually be able to see where it goes quite easily because it's in line with the row of polished andesite that you actually have on the outside, I do believe. But regardless, you can see from here where you actually want to cut the building in half, and this is going to serve as a nice separation between the garage and the reception area. We're also going to want to dig in to the floor. We're going to want to replace this with a block of quartz. I'm not going to do this now, but that is something that we're going to want to do. Or maybe I'll use a different material. Maybe I'll use a wood. But actually, you know what, I'll probably just stick to quartz. So, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to knock out the floor here, I'm going to replace it with quartz, and I'll be back in a second once I've done so. Okay, so I've replaced the floor with quartz. You guys should also do the same. Pause this video if you need any time to work on that, and just hit play once you've finished that for yourself. So, once you've got the floor taken care of, what we now want to do is we just want to add a little entrance from the garage to the reception, or from the reception to the garage, whichever way you want to look at it. And this is located, if you come all the way to this back wall here, and on the right hand side, obviously the one against the garage, we want to leave a gap of 2 from this back wall and come into the front, so leave a gap of 2, and we want to knock out this 3rd block here, the 2 above it, go right by 2, knock down by 2. We want to replace those blocks with andesite, like this, and then obviously we want to knock out those 2 middle blocks, and this is going to be the entrance into the garage. And once you have that taken care of, we can now move up a little bit. So, actually we want to be on that opposite side, to be honest with you. So, we're now here, and we have to install a floor. for that, we're going to use stone bricks. I do believe that I use stone bricks, and it should be quite easy to see where the floor is supposed to go. It's where the polished andesite is. Oh, we have to place some. We'll place some quartz here. There we go. Perfect. It's where the polished andesite is that kind of like cuts the building in half, and we just want to have a layer of stone bricks that, well, as you can see, we just want to have a layer of stone bricks that just serves as a floor just halfway up the building, and we're also going to want to have enough room for a staircase, and we're also going to have to knock into the other part of this. So I've kind of trapped myself on the second floor here, so what I'm going to want to do here, and I'm sorry, I do have to keep checking the plans because I don't have this exactly memorized. What we want to do is in this back left hand corner of the second floor, which is this side, I'm going to knock out, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here, and I'm going to place a dark oak wood stair right at the back, and then I'm going to have dark oak wood stairs coming down until I hit the floor, like that. And then I'm going to have polished andesite. No, you know what? I'll use oak wood planks on the sides of these dark oak wood stair, like so. And that will just smooth things off a little bit. And I think that I'm also going to grab some, I have some in my inventory, some oak wood stairs, and I'm just going to back the stairs with oak wood, and I'll also just cover that up as well, just to make the stairs look a little bit more appealing, is what I'm doing really. So we're just going to take care of this, and it is a little bit dark in here, but we'll just have to deal with it for now, I think, because I don't want to light it. You know what? I'll light up the stairs, and that'll actually provide sufficient enough lighting. So there we go. We should be able to see everything from here. I want you guys to see what we're going to be doing. So we now have stairs, and we can now travel from the floors. So obviously we have to make an entrance that leads into the second room here upstairs. So we're upstairs, and the entrance wants to be on the front right hand side, and we want to be on the bottom row of quartz. We want to find the second block coming in, which is this one. Knock out 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3 coming up. We then want to knock out 1, 2 going left, 1, 2 coming down, and then we can just replace this with, we'll use polished andesite again, because why not? We'll use polished andesite. Connect them together at the top, and then obviously knock out those 2 blocks in between. And then we have to provide a little bit of a roof, don't we? So I'm going to knock out this row of brick that we have here, because this isn't really necessary. And I'm going to have a layer of stone brick. Yeah, I'll use stone bricks. Is that in the right line? No, it's not. I should be one row. I should be one row lower. So I'm going to add the floor in here, and you are actually going to be able to access the garage. I wanted to install like a fireman pole. You guys know. Well, I don't know whether they actually use these in real life. I imagine they do. But you know when like firemen are hanging around at the station, there's nothing really to do. There's no current fires to be fighting. Well, I think that they have like literal fireman poles. Like when a fire comes in or an emergency, they just like slide down the pole from their recreational area, and I don't know. I guess that they just slide down a pole and then boom, they're in the fire engine. I think that's how it works, and that's what we're going to be having. So this is actually very, very dark here in the garage. I'm going to break into the second floor again, and then we can talk about this. So I'm just going to destroy that, and what I'm also going to do is I might make this just so it's even. I might reduce the amount of space in this room. It will make it seem a little bit corridory, but can you see here how we kind of just like have the space between the windows? I might reduce the amount of space in this room by adding in like a wall of a block of quartz, and I might just make it so that the rooms are even. I don't know, because it's a little bit weird having the quartz like that. Yeah, I actually think I'll do that. So I'm going to reduce the amount of space that I have in here, and I'll just have to like alter the tutorial accordingly. But I do want these 2 rooms to be even. So you just want to make it so that it's basically the width of the room is the width of the window, if that makes any sense, and I'm sure it does. So as you can see, like the window here, we just want the width of the room to be the width of the window, and I think that I'd prefer that a little bit more, although, oh no, it doesn't mess with anything. I was going to say, oh, but does it actually mess with the roof? You can see how we have like the glass roof. It doesn't. It doesn't mess with that at all. If anything, I quite like this, and it's also going to make the door sink in a little bit, but that's okay. So It's going to make doors a little bit weird. They're going to feel a little bit hallway-y, I guess, but that's perfectly fine. So we just have that, and we have a weird quartz block there. Is that important? No, it's not. We can replace that with stone bricks. So we have each one of the rooms laid out now. We have like this room, which is like a recreational room. This room is pretty much a locker room, essentially, and we have coming down here, this is a reception area. So we've done most of the work for the reception area. We may as well continue on. So talking about the reception area, here's what we want to do. You can see here where we have the entrance. No, you know what? Place a polished andesite in this back right hand corner right here. Place a polished andesite there. And where we have the entrance here that leads us into the garage, we want to, in front of the bottom right hand side of the entrance, we want to move across one. We then want to move forward one, place an oak wood plank. Bottom right diagonally, place a plank, go right by 3 of the planks, that's 1, 2, 3. We want to do an upper right diagonal with the plank, move towards the wall. We then want to have a row of dark oak wood slabs that just sits behind this desk here, like this, and then we want to grab some bookshelves, and we just want to have a row of bookshelves just above here, and that kind of looks like records, and this is not like a record as in that you'd play like, I don't know, like fire rescue records or something, and I don't know, it just looks a little bit more like a reception area. Plus we're going to add a wooden trapdoor here on the side, and we're also going to add a little bit of a seating area back here, if I can bring it up, which also has a potted plant. So we're going to be cycling through materials a lot. Some dark oak wood planks. We'll also need some oak wood stairs. I even put a potted plant in there, which will need some brown stained clay and some jungle leaves. In this very back corner, we have a brown stained clay surrounded by wooden trapdoors. Whoops, that's the wrong way. Surrounded by wooden trapdoors, 2 jungle leaves on top. That's a nice little bit of a plant. And 1 row away from that, we just want a dark oak wood plank, 2 stairs, dark oak wood plank, and then out in front of this we actually want a little bit of a table to sit your feet on and all of that, and we just want 2 dark oak wood slabs here, and this is a nice little bit of a reception area. We'll also want some, where are you? We want some light blue stained glass to stack on top of this corner andesite, and we also want like a tripwire hook to place at the bottom there, and that is just kind of like a water cooler. You can even reduce that by 1, and that looks even more like a little bit of a water cooler. And now all we can do is we can just like spruce up this place a little bit more. So we might want to take out some plant pots and some flowers, and maybe place some flowers like on top of the corners of this little sofa, the seating area. We also want to place some flowers, not on there. We'll place them here and here and here and here, and we also want to, how else can we make this nice? I think that it's actually quite nice at the moment. I don't think it needs to be made too much nicer. I think that this is a pretty decent reception area, but what you can do is add some lighting. So, no, you know what, we'll add lighting later. So, this is the reception area for now. It's a bit of a cramped space, but it's a pretty decent looking reception area, I think. I quite like it. If you have anything else to add, feel free to add it, obviously, but now I think that we should move upstairs and we should take care of this little lounge area. So, first of all, we're just going to we're going to use blue stained glass paint for this. We're just going to have a layer of blue stained glass paint around the or maybe, you know what, it might look better with like nether brick fence, actually, just something that's a bit more rigid. I placed glass again just to go around the top of the stairs. I think that actually looks kind of good, and it adds another color to the room. We're also going to add a seat here in the recreational area, and I'm just going to use dark oak wood planks and regular oak wood planks again, and regular oak wood stairs, and also for a coffee table I'm going to use like oak wood slabs, and to decorate it some flower pots, and again some oxeye daisies because I quite like them. And in this back corner I'm going to have a dark oak wood plank, 2 dark oak wood stairs next to it, dark oak wood plank. I'm going to have 2 regular oak wood slabs in front of the chair, and some flower pots, and maybe I'll put a different flower in there, maybe like some orange tulips, just to get a bit of a different vibe going up here. Maybe even a little bit of paintings. That's an item frame, some paintings up here as well. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? That's not too bad. And over here, we kind of want like a little bit of a kitchen area, and to make that, we just want some like some block of iron will look good, and some polished andesite, and some sort of wood, maybe like oak wood planks, and once again dark oak wood planks. And we'll also need some, oh, where are you? Some wooden trapdoors. We'll need some buttons, tripwire hook, that sort of stuff. So in this front left-hand corner of this room, we want to, leaving one block away from the window in here, we want to have like 2 blocks of iron stacked on top of each other. We'll place some buttons in front. We'll then have a polished andesite going right with a tripwire hook on top of it. We'll then have a row of 1, 2, 3 oak wood planks with a row of 3 dark oak wood planks suspended above, just 1 row away. And then we'll have wooden trapdoors in front of each one of these. And that's a nice little bit of a kitchen-ish thing. And what else do we want? We want a table, don't we? So we'll grab some like oak wood stairs and we'll grab some oak wood slabs. And we'll form a table. And to make the table, it's just going to be... which way do we want this table to face? We'll say that we want the table to face like this way. Is that going to be big enough? No, it's not. So we'll want it to be about this thickness, I think. And we want it to be like 1, 2 there. Actually... That's a little bit in the way of the door. Can we make it face another way? It just feels like it's in the way of the door there. Maybe we'll just reduce the table and we'll have it only like only 2 blocks. So like here and here. And we just want... and the table's very, very simple, as you can see. It's just like 2 stairs back to back from each other. That looks okay. And we'll also grab something for a seat. Do we want... maybe like a netherbrick stairs. Maybe something like that. We'll have like 1 here and 1 here. The upstairs is a little bit boring, of course. But if you wanted to, you could add various things around here. If there's anything I'm missing. I'm just going for a very, very simple interior. So why don't we move into here? And God, that feels like a long hallway, doesn't it? That feels really, really long. So this is where the firefighters will get changed, and this boom right down here is where I designed for like a little bit of a ladder system to go. So maybe like what shall we use? What materials? I always am a favourite, maybe something a bit more robust, maybe like polished andesite and maybe some like ladders. So we'll just connect that all the way down to the ground here, and we'll just have ladders coming up from it. So we just want to connect the garage, and that garage door is closed anyway. We'll just connect the garage in the corner all the way down, and you might even want to put a sign in here, a sign just above there, and it will say like garage. Like that. Wonderful. So in here, what do we want to have? We basically, in here is, we just want some lockers and some benches. So for the benches, we just want like oak wood stairs, and I used like a cyan stained clay, and I used buttons. And I also used, where are you? I can never find it, some stone brick stairs and some stone slabs. So these benches that contain the lockers, they're made out of oak wood stairs, and they are 1 row away. Oh, we'll also need oak wood planks, of course. And they're 1 row away from the windows, and they want to house 3 lockers. So there'll be 1 away from each other, and it will look like 1, 2, 3 here. And we just want to have like oak wood slabs underneath there, and then we just want to have obviously this last one, it's going to face the other direction, isn't it? That'll look a little bit like that. That's okay, that's perfect. We want to stack another cyan stained clay on top of these, and then we just want to add buttons in front of these lockers, and that doesn't look too bad at all. I'm thinking, is there anything that we can place in between them? Maybe some item frames or something. We can figure something out. And we just want the same here as well, don't we? So we just want an oak wood stairs here, and where's this other one? It's right here. So is it here? Have I lined that up properly? I think I have. And then we just want to connect these stairs together with oak wood slabs, and then some cyan stained clay like on the ends and in the center, with of course buttons on these to look a little bit like lockers. And then we just want benches like stone benches. You know how you always have like benches in like changing rooms, in locker rooms? Well, that's what these are as well. We might even shorten them. No, we'll make them as long as the lockers themselves. And these are just stone brick stairs. It's the same principle. It's stone brick stairs on the end though, and it's just stone slabs in between them, and this is just like one relatively thick bench like that. And that's pretty much the locker room. This place isn't too crowded. Something else that has just occurred to me, what we could do. Where are we? Where are we? Oh, armor stands. So it might make sense if we had kind of like an armor stand like here, and maybe like and here perhaps, or maybe even in between the lockers. So like here and here, and like here and here. That might make even more sense. And it'd make sense if these had like firefighting suits, but obviously we don't have that, do we? But kind of like a golden helmet might look kind of a bit like firefighter suit, and maybe like a leather tunic and leather pants, although those would almost definitely set on fire. So maybe not those, maybe like steel, maybe something like that. Dyed leather would make sense. How can I dye it? Hang on. Alright, I think I figured it out. So I've dyed the leather tunics and the leather pants black, and I guess that they kind of look like firefighting uniforms. Kind of, I suppose. I don't think that we can get any closer to it, and I actually think that that looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like firefighter uniforms now. That's pretty decent. I might even add... I didn't need the crafting table, by the way. Just use ink sacs on the leather, like literally, like you pick them up and then you just hit X on them, and then it will dye on black. I think that that looks pretty good, actually. That's not too bad. And if you wanted to, above... certain ones, I don't think I want to do it for all of them, item frames and maybe like a steel axe. An axe seems like a firefighter's weapon, so maybe like item frames above here and axes, and maybe like one above here and an axe. And that actually looks... That actually looks pretty decent, I think. I think that that's a pretty decent changing room. And something else that I want to add to all of the rooms, and I will be doing this to all of these, I'm going to add like a netherbrick fence and glowstone. Plus, I think I might also add some like redstone torches. So I think it would make sense if in most of the rooms you had kind of like an alarm system. Like if a fire was going to be, like if a fire was happening somewhere, I think that an alarm would go off. So I'm just going to add like redstone torches like up here. So just on the walls, some redstone torches just to make it a little bit more firefighter-y. Is that whatever? I've made that word up, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Just kind of like make it a bit more firefighter-y or whatever. I think that it just improves the look of the room a little bit. This is a little bit plain on this wall. Maybe you could even add, since I do like it so much, maybe you could even add like a firefighter uniform here. So, oh god, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Oh, an armor stand. So maybe like one here, and golden helmet, and where are we? Where are those ink sacs? That's something I've never said before. So, boom, boom. Dye on black, and I think that that looks pretty good. I think that we've just improved that room slightly, and if you wanted to, of course, you could add some carpet and you could add some niceties. I mean, if you wanted to, for instance, make the staircase a little bit nicer around the top, you could add polished andesite, and that would make it look a little bit nicer than just the stone bricks. And you can add certain things that'll improve the look of the room, but you guys know what you're doing. You'll figure out how you like things. I think that this is a pretty decent interior. What are we going to add? Well, I did mention that I'm going to grab some nether brick and some glowstone, and I'm going to add hanging lights. I add these everywhere now, basically. These are a little bit random. They're not in any particular fashion, like they're not really that structured. Like I've just added like 3 random glowstone lights. Maybe this one needs to be a little bit lower, and it can afford to be a bit lower because there's nothing in the way. I like to add like hanging glowstone lights. I kind of like the look of them. I like them quite a bit, and I might even add some torches because I'm telling you that this is so dark in here, and I don't know why. Might even add some... They don't emit much light, do they? Like regular redstone torches. So I just want this to be nice and light, basically. I wish it was a little bit lighter, but those are the breaks. And this is... oh, I also want to add some hanging lights up here. Although you don't really need them up here at all. Like, you don't need any hanging lights. But I do like the effect. And it makes it look nicer from the outside. It actually makes the room look a little bit nicer from the outside with all of the hanging lights that you can see. I'm going to move that. I'm going to place one here, and that's going to be a 2. There we go. It just makes it look a little bit nicer from the outside, and it makes people want to come in and check out the building. At least it makes me want to, because I think that it looks really, really cool. Whenever you see light emitting from a building, whenever you see something interesting, you always want to go and check it out. And the glowstone just helps to do that a little bit. And you're obviously going to also want to place doors. I'm going to use wooden, just because I have a soft spot for wooden doors for whatever reason. I'm just going to place doors like where necessary, like here, and here I'm going to place it right in the center there. And those are all of the rooms done, except for one. We have a pretty big room here, don't we? We have the garage, but the garage is actually quite easy, believe it or not. So, to make the garage, we're going to need some polished andesite, some quartz. We'll also need some cyan stained clay. We also need some beacons. We also want to, if we want to light it up again, we're going to need some nether brick fence and some glowstone. Let's talk about this. So, either side of the door that we have here, we want to carve in a row of polished andesite, and we want to have it so, like, just literally left and right of the door, just one row away. We want to have it so that it's coming all the way back here, and we want to leave a gap of 2 between the back wall and this row of andesite that we are carving into the floor. So they basically just like look like U shapes or like lowercase n shapes, and they just want to like come from either side of the door, just one block away, come all the way back to the wall, and they just want to be 1 row away from each other, and they want to be 2 rows away from the back wall. What we are making here are the bays that the fire engine is going to sit in, and I realize that this is actually quite dark, so why don't I light this up a little bit? There is going to be quite a bit of lighting added to this, but I'll add some torches on the back wall just so that you guys can see what you're doing. I should have done this a little bit earlier, and I apologize, but you should be able to see a little bit better now. And this last one, I'm just going to dig in this last row of polished andesite, and it might actually be smart to, once we've like got these andesite rows built in, it might be smart to move on to the next bit, or maybe not actually. We might just give that a little bit of a pause. But we're going to fill these with andesite. These are going to be the bays for the fire engines. I'm not sure I actually mentioned this in the fire station tutorial itself, but if you want to open more doors for the fire station, you obviously can. I even showed you, not even shown you, that's incorrect, right? I even showed you how to make like a door that's open, like horizontally, so you can open more doors, you can close them, you can do whatever you want. But I'm also going to put a couple of fire engines in here. I'm not going to do it on tutorial though. So we're going to have 3 bays now. These bays are going to be filled with cyan stained clay, but we'll be doing that later. The rest of the area inside of the garage, so basically everywhere that is not the bays, everywhere that is not inside the polished andesite, everywhere that is around it, we want to knock out and replace it with quartz. It's going to take us a while, so we want to knock out all of this area that is not inside the polished andesite, want to knock it out, replace it with quartz. I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back in just a moment once I've actually done that for myself. It's going to take quite a while, guys. Trust me, I've done it before. It does take a while. Okay, so this is what the garage should look like once you've finished it. We have these separating layers of quartz in between the bays, and those bays are still filled with grass. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? Now it's time for us to light things up a bit. So, on the back 2 corners of the bays, and I should note that if you haven't done this part yet, pause the video, come back to it once you have completed that part. I know it takes a little, but it takes a couple of minutes to do. Well, once you have reached this part, we want to place a single nether brick fence on top of the back 2 corners, and we want to place a beacon on top of those nether bricks, preferably not behind the nether brick fence. I said not behind, there we go, fantastic. And we want to place nether brick beacons on top of the nether brick fences, and this just further separates each one of the bays, and it looks quite nice. What we now want to do is we just want to add some nether brick fence, and we want to add some glowstone I'm going to say randomly. In my original version of my fire station, I don't have like random like a glowstone and like nether brick fence like lights hanging from the roof. They're very, very organized, they're very coordinated. If you want to, you can. You can coordinate them, you can have them so that they all match up and they're all in a row or whatever. I like the random nature of it. Something to note is that you don't want to make the lights hang any lower than 2 blocks. At a push, honestly, you don't want to be... You don't really want them hanging any lower than 1 block, to be honest with you. You want them, like, hanging 1, really, just 1, not 2, because they will otherwise likely interfere with the fire engines. But you can assign them randomly all the way throughout the garage, or not. You can make them a little bit more uniform, that's up to you. I like them as they are now. I like the random nature of it, that's just me. Well, once you've added all of the lights, this is the garage almost done, but we're going to move on to the next bit before we talk about the inside part of this garage. So once you've got all that taken care of, you now want to head all the way outside. What do we want to do outside here? Well, we have an entrance to make, we have a road to make, and we have a yard to make. And to make these, we need polished andesite, a little bit of block of quartz, we need some stone slabs. We also need, my god, what is the material that I'm looking for? Some cyan stained clay. We'll also need some yellow wool. We also want to grab a little bit of jungle leaves, and I think that is it. We'll grab some more stuff as we need it. So, first of all, we're just going to place a border of jungle leaves that goes all the way around the edge of our fire station. And it wants to go around the left edge, right edge, and the back. It doesn't want to come out in front of the fire station at all. And you don't want to interfere. You know those supports that you have with like the andesite and the stone brick stairs? You don't want to interfere with those at all. You just want to go like around those, or better yet, through them. You don't want to touch them. You don't want to interfere with them. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. And whilst it doesn't look like much, and you might even want to even it up a little bit, you might not want to come as far out as that stone brick stair. It looks a little bit nicer from the sides, just a little bit. So what we now want to do is we want to take out our polished andesite, and we want to come all the way over here, and where we have this most right hand part of the garage in front of this stone brick stairs digging into the floor, we want to have a row of 12 digging into the floor. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Or it can be longer. You can actually have it as long as you want, but I would have it at least 12. But you then want to drag it all the way over to the front left-hand side of your fire station, and you want to connect this row of 12 all the way over to the front left-hand corner. So can you see where we have here the andesite on this corner? We want to connect it here. We want to fill in the space with polished andesite. We want to fill in this entire little trench with polished andesite. I shouldn't say little trench, because it's actually quite a big trench, really. We want to connect everything together, and this is going to be the separation between the yard and also the reception area. So we want to have this. What we also want to do, just right of the entrance where we have this row of andesite that like connects down to the ground, we want to knock out into the ground in front of it and replace this area with our polished andesite. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. So you now have separation between the yard and between the reception. What we now want to do is we're only going to be doing some of this on recording. What we now want to do is we want to knock out a row of 5 between this front left-hand corner andesite, and you know what? It's row 6. A row of 6 coming out from this front left-hand corner andesite. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place an andesite in the 6th block, and we want to make sure that we do have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separating them. We then want to take this 6th block, this andesite, and we want to drag it all the way over to the right-hand side, and we're actually going to replace in the ground with our polished andesite. So we're going to replace into the ground polished andesite. And this is where the road is going to be. There is a road in front of the fire station. And what's interesting about this road is we have a keep clear sign. So let's talk about this sign. That's the road so far. It looks alright, doesn't it? Well, this is a little bit difficult to explain. Can you see here where we have this row of andesite digging into the ground? This one that separates the yard, separates the reception. Well, this block that connects to the road, which is this one, we want to knock out a row of 5 are coming across the road. So into the ground, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me just show you what I mean, like this. We then want to replace that with yellow wool, like that, so we have kind of like an eye shape. We want to take the middle block, extend it to the right by 1, knock it out of the floor. Then upright diagonal, up by 1. Also from that same middle block, bottom right diagonal, down by 1. Replace each lost block with yellow wool. That is the letter K. Now, moving one row right, knocking into the ground, we want another row of 5, stemming from each end of the road. We then want to knock out the bottom, middle, and top blocks and extend them to the right each by 2. That's 1, 2, 3, like that. So we want to form the letter E. It's worth noting that each one of these letters is only one row away from each other, and they are each 3 blocks thick, also 5 blocks long. We then want another E, so one row away, we want to knock out our row of 5, take the top, middle, bottom blocks, knock them all to the right by 2, and we'll form another E. Key. And then we want to form a P. So one row away, we want to knock out our row of 5 again. We then want to take this top block that we knocked out, extend it to the right by 2, down by 2, left by 1. We then have the letter P, like this. So we have keep. We then, leaving a gap of 2 this time, we want to leave a gap of 2, guys. 2, very important 2. Leave a gap of 2. And then we want to knock out our row of 5 again. We then want to knock out the top block and the bottom block, extend them to the right each by 2, and we want to form the letter C. We then want to, leaving one space, just knock out the entire row of 5, replace it with yellow, and that will be the letter L. It's a lowercase l because we don't have room otherwise for an actual capital L. We then want to form another E. You guys know how to do that. That's one row away, then knock out the row of 5, followed by the top, middle, and bottom blocks. You extend them each to the right by 2, and that is clear. We then want an A. A is pretty easy as well. We want to knock out our first initial row of 5, take that top block, extend it to the right by 2, down until you are equal with the row of 5, take this second to top, center middle block, knock that out, and then you have the letter A. Very, very simple. And then for the last letter, which is the letter R, we want our row of 5 again. Then we want to take this top block in our row of 5, extend it to the right by 2, down 1, bottom left diagonal, bottom right diagonal, down by 1, and then we have the letter R. And that is the hardest part of this next bit complete. So we now have a keep clear written in front of our fire station. Very, very easy. Now, once you have it, keep clear written, what we now want to do is this, and this will take a while. So, we want to knock out every single one of the blocks in the road, and the road wants to be cyan stained clay. Easy as that. Cyan stained clay for the road. As a matter of fact, it gets easier because the yard is also cyan stained clay. We want the yard to be completely cyan stained clay. We also want the inside bays of our fire station. So inside here where we have this grass block, now it's making sense why we didn't do anything with them. We also want these to be cyan stained clay. It is only the entrance that we want something different. And for the entrance, we want to have, I've just knocked out those doors, we want to have a layer of stone slabs instead of our cyan stained clay or any other material. So we want to completely knock out this little entrance, the little reception area here just out in front, leading us to the reception area. We just want to knock this out, and this will be stone slabs. Road, yard, bays, cyan stained clay, part leading you to the reception, stone slabs. I'll be back once I've completed all of that, guys. It's going to take a while. I'm not doing it on recording. So this is what your fire station should look like once you've taken care of the yard, the road, and the little bit out in front of the entrance. And a couple of touches that you might want to add is you may want to add the lines in the road. So one row away from the center of this K, we want a row of 1, 2, 3 white. Then leaving a gap of 1 again, 1, 2, 3, knocked into the ground. And we just want to have something which should look like that, and those are just road markings. Something else that you may want to do is restore the door that you may or may not have knocked out. And I do believe that I used oak doors because I am a fan of them, not here. I want them there. And I also do believe that I have to add a door here in between the reception and the garage area. And that is pretty much it. And that will be the inside and the outside of your fire station complete. So you saw at the front of the video, at the start of the video, we had some fire engines in the yard, and what you didn't see is there's actually a fire engine in the inside of the garage in that video as well, and we also have a helicopter on top. Those tutorials are all coming. If you enjoyed this, please give the video a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. I'd honestly really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into the fire station as a whole. I mean, if it wasn't obvious enough that I built, you know, like 4, 5 different things for this, including the inside, including the outside, the fire engine, the helicopter, 4 different things, it's, I really did put a lot of effort to the inside as well. Whether it looks like it or not, I actually did. It did require a little bit of working out, like doing all of this. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could show me some love. Give the video a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. Subscribe if you haven't already. Not only will it be an easy way to figure out when I'm going to be putting the fire engine up and when I'm going to be putting the fire helicopter up, you'll also be clued in to all of the wonderful builds that surround us. That's a Pikachu house over there. That's a campsite. That's actually really cool. That's a fishbowl house, suburban house, library, police station. We have loads of things around here. If you like the fire station, you'll love that police station over there in the background. You can see really awesome. It's got a police bike. It's got a police helicopter. It's got some police cars. There's a riot van as well. Really excellent. I love it just as much as my fire station. I love both builds equally. Comment down below. What else do you want to see me make next? Would you like a fire van? Would you like a fire bike? I don't know. Those two things probably don't exist. But do let me know what you do want to see. A lot of you guys are wanting airports. A lot of you guys are wanting some loads of other big buildings. And after the fire station's complete, I'll definitely start working on them. Check out the card system, check out the description below. I'm going to leave you a link to my police station, but I'm also going to leave you a link to the actual fire station itself, and when available, the fire engine and the firecopter. And if any other relatable builds pop up in the comments, I'll also leave links to those as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below, check out the card system. I'll see you guys in the next video.